It began millions of years ago, when the Earth was still young and reshaped itself every single day. Vast forests stood like living walls, and between them lay lakes that mirrored the sky. Swamps stretched across the land like dark veins, and mountains rose as if trying to touch the clouds. When I look at these ancient landscapes, I sometimes find it hard to believe they truly existed. Science has helped us understand this lost world piece by piece. Fossils tell stories that are millions of years old, and modern AI analysis reveals details that were once hidden. Bones, tracks, and fossilized moments form a picture that becomes clearer with every discovery. And sometimes I think how incredible it is that we can uncover things today that vanished long ago. Oh, now we begin our journey back into a time that was unimaginable for us, then and still is today. A time when the Earth breathed differently, sounded differently, and lived differently. The further we travel back, the more we feel that we are approaching a world larger, wilder, and more powerful than anything we know. A thought that touches me deeply every time. In this ancient world lived animals we know today only from bones. But back then they were real, loud, and mighty. Every step must have made the ground tremble, and the sounds of prehistory must have rolled across wide plains. When I imagine what it must have felt like to stand among these giants, I get goosebumpsy. Very time, before we meet the greatest of them all, we must understand how this world worked. Predator and prey shaped the rhythm of life, and only the strongest survived. In this harsh and wild time, a creature emerged that would later become a legend, an animal whose name still inspires awe today. And this is exactly the moment we are heading toward now. Science has helped us understand this lost world piece by piece. Fossils tell stories that are millions of years old, and modern AI analysis reveals details that were once hidden. Bones, tracks, and fossilized moments form a picture that becomes clearer with every discovery. And sometimes I think how incredible it is that we can uncover things today that vanished long ago. Researchers examine every layer of the Earth to find clues about ancient life. Fossilized plants, tiny bone fragments, and old sediments reveal climate changes and disasters that wiped out entire species. Seeing how much patience and precision this work requires makes me realize how difficult it is to decode the past. With modern methods, we can now reveal microscopic structures that were once overlooked. Tiny marks and bones show how animals moved, hunted, or died. AI-based reconstructions help us understand body shapes and motion more accurately. Sometimes I wonder how many secrets are still hidden inside these ancient stones. Every new discovery changes our view of prehistory. A single find can overturn entire theories and show that the past was far more complex than we imagined. Researchers often say they are only scratching the surface. And when I think about how little we truly know, it becomes clear how vast that lost world really was. As all these insights bring us step by step closer to the animals that lived back then. They show us how they looked, how they behaved, and how they survived. And the more we uncover, the more we feel that we are approaching a time full of mysteries and surprises. The path back into prehistory leads us straight into the realm of the Tyrannosaurus rex. The earth sounded different, smelled different, and every one of his steps made the ground tremble beneath him. Animals that heard this sound instantly knew they had to stay still. And sometimes I think about how overwhelming it would have been to stand face to face with such a colossus. The further we travel back, the clearer it becomes how much the T-Rex dominated this landscape. He wasn't just an animal, but a force of nature that shaped everything around him. His deep roar must have rolled through forests and valleys, sending even large herbivores into panic. A thought that shows how powerful this world truly was. The sound of prehistory were raw and unmistakable. The cracking of ancient forests, the rumbling of the earth, and between it all the distinct call of a T-Rex claiming his territory. This sound must have been heard for miles and warned every creature to stay hidden, a picture that stays deeply in the men. D. With every step back, we lose the familiar images of our time. No roads, no humans, only nature, danger, and a king watching over everything. And I imagine how strange this world would have felt if we had stood in it for even a single moment. And T, right here, in the transition between the familiar and the unimaginable, the T-Rex appears before us, a creature larger than any imagination, with a presence that would have been felt even from afar. And this moment shows how close we truly come to this giant when we enter prehistory. The deeper we step into this world, the more we feel how alien it truly was. The air was heavy, the sounds unpredictable, and every shadow could hide a predator. And sometimes I wonder what it would have felt like if we had stood here ourselves. No protection, no knowledge, just the sense that something dangerous could be watching us. The forest felt like living walls, dense, dark, and full of secrets. Every step made branches crack, and every sound could mean that something massive was nearby. I imagine how our limbs would have trembled knowing that somewhere among these trees a T-Rex was roaming, a creature that ruled everything around it. Then, without warning, the bushes rustle. A deep, rumbling sound rolls through the trees. We freeze, because we know this noise doesn't belong to anything small. And in that moment, it becomes clear that we are not alone. Something enormous is approaching. Something that makes the ground tremble beneath eye. T, the leaves part, and suddenly he stands there, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. His skull lowers slowly, as if he's examining us. His eyes lock onto ours, and for a moment it feels like time itself stops. And I know, if we truly stood here, our hearts would have dropped straight into our boo. T.S. Then he unleashes a roar that cuts through the entire forest. A sound so bone-shaking that even the ground vibrates beneath us. It's a call that shows who rules this world, and that we would be nothing more than intruders in his domain. A moment that proves how immense and dangerous this era truly was. As we come to the end of this film, I want to thank every viewer, because it matters to me that people find content that offers calm moments, clear explanations, or simply a space to listen and breathe. And I hope this film has provided a bit of clarity and perhaps shown how fascinating the world can be when we take the time to look a little closer. Many people look for information that is not loud but explained in a clear and human way. And if this film achieved that, it shows that such content is value and that it is important to tell things in a way that anyone can understand, without pressure, without rush and without complicated language, but simply in a way that feels inviting and easy to follow. I hope this film has helped make the world a little more understandable, because sometimes a quiet moment is enough to grasp something that once felt confusing. And these are moments I want to create with my films, so that every viewer feels they have taken something meaningful away, no matter how big or small that thought may be. To finish, I kindly ask all viewers to subscribe to the channel, leave a like and activate the bell, because every bit of support helps create new films and keep this knowledge available for everyone. And I want to thank each person for their time, their attention, and their willingness to join me on this journey, because that is what keeps this work alive and makes it possible to tell new stories.